end of 2023, the Puma in South Africa. In addition to their range, which is much needed because they're smallest, and there will be more coming soon, which I'm very happy to report. It's a typical Ford front grille. You know what they look like, very, very distinctive. But a real standout feature is these sort of dual boomerang and strange shaped daytime running lights, which really do look effective when you see them in your rear view mirror, particularly at night, obviously. The Puma is an interesting car. It's one of these coupe SUV crossover. You can call it in so many niches. I'll give you an example. Very much like the Hyundai Kona, Toyota CHR, or something in that line, just to give you an idea of where it fits in the market. Two models are available, the titanium, or this, the top of the line, ST line Vignale. Interesting name. I know Ford have used the Vignale name in Europe for a long time. Now, one of the ways you can immediately tell the difference between the two models is the ST line gets 18-inch alloy wheels, you get 17 on the titanium. So just a very simple, easy first step. The other thing is a panoramic roof is only on the ST line. Just little features, little points that differ between the cars. Before I open the back door, I mentioned the coupe-esque look. You'll see the very sharp slope to the rear, towards the rear on the roof, and the sharp, wide C-pillar at the back, which tells you you're going to have a little bit of a compromise in the back seat. Maybe the boot, form over function. But look at this here. Oh. Okay. I'm quite happy with the legroom in the back. The driver's seat set for myself as usual. Headroom in the back. Can I leave it at an But remembering there is the two-piece panoramic roof. We all know panoramic roofs do steal headroom in the back of a car. But again, as I said, form over function, it really does depend on what you want, what you need. One little thing I have noticed, Ford, I must tell you, is one USB in a car like this. I think it could do at least one more, and especially in the back seat. Little things, we won't be too concerned, but another feature of the ST line Vignale is the quilted leather seats. And those look classy. They really do. Very nice front sports seats. We'll look at those a bit later. But it's things like that that show you a touch of class that they have added. Also got to tell you the color of this car. According to the key fob from Ford South Africa, it's called grey matter. Not sure where the name comes from, but it's an unusual and I think really smart looking color. Come to the back, big spoiler over the rear hatch, good nice big tail lights that cut into the hatch and on the side over there. It's things like that. They are fairly standard, nothing over standard. Powered tailgate and an unusual soft flappy shelf over here, which I must tell you I did struggle to come to odds with a little bit, but again a minor point. And nice to know there is a 12-volt socket in the boot. I'm not climbing into the boot today, sorry, but I can tell you now this is very easily and comfortably a 1 Allen boot with an extra feature. You've got this board at the bottom, and if you lift it, this is the, according to what I've been told from the launch, you can stand a set of golf clubs in the boot area using this section, and there is sufficient height for a standard set of golf clubs. Nice. I think that's quite useful, quite interesting. And you have got a space saver spare wheel even under that. So there you go. So the boot space is significant enough if you fool around enough with it. And you close the button. There you go. Now, the Puma is only available with one powertrain in South Africa. It's the well-known, famous, and totally reliable 3-cylinder EcoBoost. 1-liter 3-cylinder turbo, 92 kilowatts, 170 Newton meters of torque through a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic. We took it out on the road. You'll see a little bit of footage on the road, and you'll see and you know this engine has pep, it has performance, and it really is a fun engine in quite a fun, good handling chassis as well.
Hello, my name is Michael. I'm the owner of Change Cars and the host of the TV show All Things Motoring. I have one mission, and that is to make a difference to the motoring public. Making a difference how? Making sure that you have safe options, making sure that you have knowledge. In that regard, it is my absolute pleasure and privilege to work with Alan Rosenmeyer of Motor Matters. The man with a hat, I'm the man with no hat, he's the man with the knowledge. Thank you for watching.
Out in the country in the Puma, we've taken a drive out to Harties just to enjoy, to relax, and to enjoy the performance of the car. It's got that 1 litre EcoBoost 3-cylinder engine that is so well known, been around with Ford for a long time, but quite honestly, it's so good, why change? 1 litre, 92 kilowatts, 117 Newton meters of torque, 7-speed dual clutch automatic. It's a nice snazzy looking car. It looks neat, it looks sporty, and it feels sporty, it drives sporty, and believe it or not, you'll see more of it, 5.6 liters per 100 on my economy cruise. That's really not bad. We'll show you more on the road just now. Puma really excels out in the country. City, yes, sure, it's fine, it's got the auto box, it's got everything else, but it's that kind of car that invites you to just give it a little bit of a go. The EcoBoost engine, the 1 litre EcoBoost engine, which has been around for a long time, but quite honestly, it's so good, why not be around for a lot longer? But it is that kind of engine that invites a bit of sporty driving, invites you to put your foot down just that little bit, because it is really responsive. And this tiny little steering wheel that I've got in my hands over here, flat bottom, this entire car gives you the vibe of saying, I want to be sporty. I want to just drive that little bit. It handles the twisties really well. The Focus has always been known for being a great handling C-segment hatch. And well, I think this one takes over from it, quite honestly. The ride can be a touch hard on rare occasions, but I'm not going to complain about that really, because if you want it to be sporty, well then the hardness comes into it as part of that. So it is a compromise and a trade-off, and you don't really mind. But the bigger fun and the bigger pleasure and the bigger privilege in my book is coming out on a country drive and enjoying the car out in the country like we're doing today, and giving it a chance to give it its head for a little bit out on a cruise. Starting off behind the wheel, you can look at the instrumentation. The important thing I want to tell you is fuel consumption. We showed you the consumption on the open road. It was really good. You can see it. You've already seen it in the video. And look at that now, 7.4 liters per 100 after 360 Ks on the test. And that's an overall figure. You can achieve that too, I can assure you. So I think unless you drive it like this engine can do, I think you can achieve that kind of figure as an overall figure to live with in this car quite comfortably and quite easily. Not standard on the car, but as an optional extra in a driver's assistance pack, you can get active cruise control and blind spot monitoring in the mirrors over there. Now, you know me, you know safety, and especially the active cruise control if you're a person who uses cruise control. 21,000 Rand added to the price will give you those features. And at the price level, which we'll come to in a moment, I don't think it's a major amount to add. I know I would add it if I was taking a Puma. Looking at the screen, it's a 9-inch screen. It's very clear, very sharp, and it's Sync 3, not Sync 4, the latest. But let me tell you, Sync 3, I've experienced many times, is superb. It links perfectly. It does everything you want perfectly. And interestingly, it does have standard navigation, or you can obviously use Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. You come down, you've got your climate control. It's all standard. I'm not going to spend time. And over here, it's an unusual shaped slot for your cell phone, but it fits in there. Does have inductive charging, and that's a good feature. Again, that's only on ST line. single USB I pointed out, I'm not going to say anymore, and there is another 12 volts over there. Standard shifter for the 7-speed dual clutch automatic, works well, nice, I'm very happy. And over here between the seats, you've got the button to switch out the stop start, traction control if you're stupid enough, or there are some settings for terrain, but I wouldn't worry too much. Unusually, it's got an old-fashioned handbrake and not an electronic parking brake. Just somehow the electronic would have seemed more at home in this car to me, but it's really not a big deal. You've got really nice sport seats. They hold you well, they're well shaped, and in ST line Vinale you get the quilted leather, and you even get massage function for both front seats. The dashboard, interesting combination of textures and feels, but it feels pretty good. There's almost a carbon fiber type look in between, etc., stitching. But a nice feature is that over there, the sound system is upgraded to a B&O system, and it has got power. It does give you great sound. I know Leadfoot will love that, there is no doubt. Okay, so where does the Puma fit into the market? I mentioned it's in the same category as a Hyundai Kona, for example. Well, the titanium comes in at about 560, 570,000 Rand. The ST line comes in at 613, add the 21,000 that I would want, 635 as we're in the car right now. Now, yes, that is a lot of money, but I've got to tell you, it goes beautifully, it handles beautifully, it looks stunning, it's got a lot of features. If you're the kind of guy that enjoys all of that combined, I would look at it. It's very difficult to mention competitors, barring, I keep repeating, the Kona, but that's the kind of buyer I can see buying this car. That EcoBoost engine, you know it, you know what it does, you know what the performance it provides, and Ford have thrown in a dollop of nice hand on this one as well. Back to the Focus, for example, or something like that. You do get, of course, your 5-year warranty, but remember with Ford, you don't get a standard service plan, but a 4-year service plan